Hey guys, this is Al again. Haven't really given you much of an update in the last couple of weeks. I apologize for that. It's just been crazy busy. Over the Christmas holidays I've been focused on working on a building that I just bought down the street, and it turned into a bigger project than I expected. But there has been some updates. First of all, you see this car behind me, this Jaguar XJS. This is my old 3.6 5-speed car. It's a European spec car. So this car now is on the way to Holland. So it was sold on eBay, and it was sold around Thanksgiving. But the guy finally sent a truck now. So it's been about 6 weeks, and also sold another car to a gentleman in Tennessee, and that's my Euro 450 SEL 6.9. Which you will see here. That's this guy behind me. It's covered in dirt. Let's see if you have it. There you go. And I'm using this new selfie stick, which is kind of hard to use. But let me just flip the camera around, and you can. So, just spent the last couple of hours. I had to dig this car out of that spot over there in the corner where that 3.5 is sitting, and moving it out was no easy task because it wasn't running. I ended up having to use a 745i to strap it down and pull it away. So that was all kinds of fun. Now that I got it on the lift, I was able to block it. So the whole goal is, put some of these 2x4s up in place so that we could get it on a trailer without ruining the underside. Kind of an interesting car. I bought it from a gentleman that used to at one time be the Lotus dealer back in the 70s. Real nice guy. Fortunately, he passed away. But he had this thing sitting in his shop for years and years and years and years and years. And I ended up basically buying it off him in 2012. If you look back on my videos, you'll see some pictures of it complete, but we had some rust on it, being a Euro. Guys, anytime you buy a Euro car, a Mercedes, I don't know whether, people who watch my channel are Mercedes guys or Rolls-Royce guys, but if you're a Mercedes guy and you're buying a Euro car that's older than a 126, you should expect rust, right? So the 126 was the era of the grey import market. That's when they started bringing 126s in, and usually those cars were bought in when they were brand new cars, right? So you get, like, if you find a 500 SEL Euro car or 500 SEC, chances are it's not going to be that rusty. They were also bringing in earlier cars. They were bringing in 450 SLC 50s. They were bringing in 6.9s like this one. Sometimes they were bringing in some cars like the 6.3, which is also a Euro car, that one over there. Expect anything that's lived in Europe, even if it's for a couple of years, 5 years or something like that, expect it to be rusty. So when I got this car, it looked okay, but there was rust in the floor pans. There was rust in the wheel wells. Can you see where we did the repair over here? We replaced the rocker panels and did a whole bunch of work on the front and the rear part of the floor pans. But I moved buildings. I lost interest in the project. It was just too much for me. I started getting interested in other cars, and you know how that goes. Well, you may not know how that goes, but if you know me, you know how that goes for me. And so, I eventually got tired of looking at it and threw it up for sale. And a gentleman in Tennessee decided to buy it. He has a very rusty. All the rust has been fixed on this car. He has a very rusty 6.9. And he's going to make a good one out of the two of them. And guy seems like a really good guy. He seems, pretty handy. So he also has an CL600, the twin turbo car, similar to my 65 over here. And he does his own work. And I'm confident that he knows his stuff. So I think this car is going to go to a good home. So I'm happy about that. But it's getting blocked up. It's getting ready. Sorry guys, a guy came by and picked up the transportation company came by and picked up the XJS, so I had to stop what I was doing and deal with that. Anyway, I'm not sure where I left this conversation, but Right now I'm stuck with the heater core issue. Also the bushing for the shifter link that's on this car is too thick for the shifter. The way that the shifter link bushing goes on is that the shifter linkage slides through the bushing, and then there's a little clip that goes on the other side. The bushing itself is so thick that the clip doesn't fit through the other side, so I either have to shave the bushing or see. So if you look there, that's the bushing. That's kind of the problem, and you can see right above it, I think if I get my hands in the way it'll just obstruct everything, cause a shadow, is the linkage. And the problem is that the bushing is about as thick as the linkage in itself, and as a result it's once you slip the linkages on, you can't put the clip on the other side on it. It just
He's been giving me all kinds of problems. So we know about the heater core. I tried to drive it the other day, and the shifter popped out of the shift rod. Apparently I was using the wrong bushing. So the bushing that I was using had a 115 part number, which is really common. It's the same bushing that's used on just about every Mercedes-Benz 722.0, 722.1, 722.2, 722.3 transmission. So basically everything that was in the 6.9s, the 126s, the 124s was that bushing. Turns out that I needed a different bushing. I spoke to a gentleman in Walnut Grove, California, who's somewhat of a he's a Mercedes-Benz mechanic. He runs a Mercedes-Benz mechanic shop, and he's an M100 expert. And he was kind enough to give me the correct part numbers. So guys, if you ever need shifter bushings for a 6.3, this is the part number you need to be looking for: 112.268.0150. And these are the bushings, and they look a little bit different to the bushings in the the 115 bushings. Sorry, let me show you again. They look a little bit different, so they're a lot skinnier, and they look like they have a groove on the inside, and I guess the groove kind of fits onto the shaft on the shift rod. So if you ever run into this problem, that's it. That's what you need to be looking at. What else did I do? So I bought some. This is for the Triumph, right? So I picked up, the headlights. The beauty rings keep falling off, so I knew that I had to get the headlights off anyway. So I thought, well, while the headlights are out, I'm going to install H4s. So these are H4 conversions to the seal beam lights, and I think they'll make a huge upgrade to the car. I still got to buy some mirrors, and I got the car titled and registered, and I'll do a little drive-by on it when I get the chance. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks the plates are going to come in, and I'll take it out on the road. We're having some beautiful weather. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. My main focus has been mainly on tinkering on the 6.3, which is jammed in reverse right now, so I had to push it forward and then start the engine and just basically let the car roll in the reverse and get back on that lift so I can use this car. But now that I have two cars gone, it doesn't look any less cramped inside this place, but it's a little bit better. I'm just going to keep working on making more space, so probably sell a few more cars in the next couple of months, just trying to make some space and try not to buy any. That's the most important thing. Just focus on what I have. I finally made a decision on the Rolls-Royce, so that's the other thing. You don't see the blue one in there, but that's because it's parked in the back. But I have decided that I'm going to keep the blue one and the gold one, and I'm going to use this fire damage car as a parts car. So what the gold one really needs is the manifolds and the exhaust system, and the blue one's going to probably need the interior and the grille right now. Maybe some chrome work, and obviously it's going to need a paint, but it's fine. Main reason why I'm keeping the blue one and the gold one is because they're both very long-term projects, and they both run. and I really want to make sure that I have, stuff that runs in my shop. I moved this 6.9 out of that spot. It took me like 7 hours to do it, to get the car out. So it's kind of a chore. And if they can run, they're that much easier to work on, right? So I can get them on the lift, get them off the lift, stuff like that. What else? So lastly, the 6.3. If I can get the shifter bushings going, I'll take it for a quick test drive and show you guys how to do it. I'll replace the tires on it because the tires are so bad, they're hideous, and then I'll start figuring out what I need to do with the heater core. We have an event coming up in February. It's called Radwood. It's over in Austin. It's kind of like a, how Goodwood Revival is for the 60s. This stuff is like for the 80s and 90s. And I want to go over there. I'm not sure exactly, I've already booked my tickets. I've already got my hotel. I'm not sure what I'm going to drive. So it could be either the 500 SL, the 107, very 80s, Beverly Hills Cop. The 745i, or the Corniche, or maybe my 560 SEC. And I'm kind of leaning towards the 560 SEC because the AC works, and it needs a front end rebuild, suspension rebuild, but it's it's a nice car to drive, and I haven't driven it in so long that I kind of miss driving it. So that's it. I mean, right now I'm really just focused on getting this car ready so that it can make its way. I've always loved 6.9s. I mean, I've always had 6.9s. Since 2005, I've restored a couple of them, and I've gone through maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other cars that I end up either selling without restoring or dismantling. But I still have another one. I still have a US spec 6.9 sitting in the back of the building. Which I'll get to eventually. It belonged to another guy I knew, and he spent a fortune on it, but he started getting on and started getting tired, and he wasn't finding good people to work on that car. So the last couple of years it kind of it became neglected, and I'll probably revive that car at some point. But right now, really, I want to keep working on the 6.3. I want to keep working on that Silver Shadow, and get some work done on the Corniche. I mean, the Corniche runs great. It's just needs cosmetic. It needs wood. It needs some repairs to the soft top, and it needs a dash. Dash cover. It needs a good wash because you think I'll be doing burnouts. I've got mudding in it, but it's just just outside it gets, so if you have to pull the cars out in the wet, it gets kind of nasty. I've been tinkering a little bit with this guy. I'm going to have to do some work on it pretty soon as well. So I replaced the battery on it, which was giving me problems. It was just running flat. I'm not sure what the deal is with this car, but whatever battery I put in it, the charger will fully charge it, and then it would let the battery run down, but it won't go into float mode. It just kind of, for some reason, the battery fools it into thinking that there's a drain, but it's not it doesn't detect it as a drain. So you leave this car for a week and it'll run the battery completely flat, and the battery charger won't go into float mode. And all the other chargers, I use the same charger on my other cars. This one, 13.7 volts, red, in the green, sorry. This one, 12.8 in the green, but for some reason there's a problem with the way that this has got some kind of oddball drain. It may be related to the alarm system or something else, but I try to run it regularly just to keep the oil circulated, keep everything running. And the other day I come to the shop and there's a great big puddle of green oil here on the floor, so I've got some cat litter on it, so that kind of cleans it up. But so I guess the front pump is leaking. I looked at the front of the engine and there was oil everywhere. So I'm going to have to work on this one a little bit as well. So you should expect to see some updates.
So anyway, so here's
So-
where I am. This isn't so much a wrenching video as it is just an update video, but I thought I'd give you guys an update as I haven't updated for a while. I've been really focused on that building and trying to concentrate on that. I will be doing videos soon, as I want to get back into working on my cars. I actually miss it, I really do, because it's how I decompress, but the building's just been all consuming. So here's my update, and I'll try to get a little bit of wrenching done in the next couple of hours on the 6.3, try to get that bushing on so I can at least drive the car on and off the lift. But that's where I am, guys, and you know, I've picked up a few subscribers, and I've had a number of comments, some really good advice, some really detailed advice from people. So I'd like to thank you. I haven't responded to the comments yet. Hoping that I can get rid of a few more cars this year and not add any more. Alright guys, thanks very much. Bye bye.